Morai v'Rabosai, we're in the Shiva de Mechemta, the 7 weeks of consolation after Tisha B'Av. And when we look at the destruction of Yerushalayim, the Churban, Yerushalayim, the Bais HaMikdash BeChurbono, it's still not rebuilt, and it's hard for us to fathom that one day Baruch Hu can rebuild it. The answer can be found in the Haftorah for Ekev, which is the Navi Yeshayahu, where Yeshayahu says, "Look to the rock you were hewn from, to the quarry you were dug from. Look back to Avram your father and to Sarah you were brought forth." Question is, what's the hemshach? What's the connection between Yerushalayim being rebuilt and Avram and Sarah? So there's a beautiful teretz given in Sefer Likutei Chaim by Rav Chizkiyahu Feivel Plaut, one of the Talmidim of the Chassam Sefer and the Kasav Sefer. He quotes the Gemara in Sanhedrin 91a, where a min comes to Rav Ami and says, "Can the dead come alive?" And he gives a mashal about a king giving instructions to build a palace in a desolate area where there's no earth and water. And when the palace collapses, then the king gives instructions to rebuild the palace where there is earth and water, and the workers don't do it. And the king says, "I don't understand. If you can build a palace when there's no earth and water, then kal v'chomer you can build a palace where there is earth and water." So he asks, can HaKadosh Baruch Hu create life? HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates yesh me'ayin, life from nothing. So pull out your Gemara thumb and say, Madach HaKadosh Baruch Hu could give children to Avram and Sarah. We know that Sarah was an islandess, and Avram Avinu was Teichen Einu Piled. She had no uterus, she had no womb, they were incapable of having children, yet HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them Yitzchak, and we ultimately became a nation as large as the nations of the world. Then kal v'chomer lifnei ben kal v'chomer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu can rebuild Yerushalayim. It's harder to create than it is to rebuild. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu can create, He can rebuild. Yeyush and giving and having no hope is not part of our DNA. We should have total hope and total belief in the return of the ultimate redemption of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mherav yameinu amen.